But I bring up the tariff because Trump just announced a new 50% tariff on Canada that applies to specific Canadian automobiles, trucks, auto parts, and steel. Not imports from every country, just from Canada. And they said this 50% tariff rate would take effect January 1st, 2027. The Federal Reserve, just as a note, found that tariff sensitive goods imported from China were about 8.5% more expensive year over year by December of last year, with a 30% consumer pass through in studied categories. So we're paying about 8.5% more on goods from China. A 2026 NBER study estimated roughly 26% of tariff increases were passed on to the consumers and found some domestically produced goods also rose because imported inputs became more expensive. So, in other words, you have some things that are made in America, and that's true, but they have to outsource for certain specific parts or certain pieces of what they make. Well, because those imports had a tariff, those prices rose, and you saw basically one in four businesses pass on those prices to the consumer. Now, here is, let me put this on the screen. Here's Sean Duffy, Treasury Transportation, defending the trade dispute and the tariffs on Canada.
We're great trading partners, right? But Canada gets the benefit of trading with the U.S. way more than the U.S. gets the benefit of trading with Canada. It's a country that doesn't have a military. It has a country that has a single-payer healthcare system that's failing. They have record high euthanasia rates. And so to think that they're going to go to war with Donald Trump and actually win that war with the U.S., I think it's foolish on their part. And again, I think what the president's trying to do with Jamieson Greer, who, by the way, has done an amazing job representing the president and America, is we want fairness for the American worker. And some of our best friends are the worst offenders that treat us the worst. And the fact that we provide their security for them and they take advantage of us, I think President Trump was the first one to go, you know what, that's not the kind of relationship that friends should have. And so the president's calling them out. I think you're going to see Mark Carney come to the table very, very quickly because it's going to be devastating for his country.
Well, nothing on the table as far as talks are concerned. A lot of finger pointing. Right. So we'll keep tracking that. I want to get.
So, RC, I do have another question here about these tariffs for you. Mm-hmm. We just heard a laundry list of why the tariffs. Well, they're not treating us fairly. So effectively, they're setting these up as being punitive tariffs, that we're in a tariff war, if you will. I thought the tariffs were twofold. One, to raise a bunch of revenue for America, and two, to reshore production in America. But it doesn't seem like that's the way it's playing out. Meanwhile, we are still paying more for the cost of everything.
Interesting, Andrew. I was going to say earlier, I don't know whether or not the tariffs are working on China, because I would have never known that the increase in cost from products from China was up 8%, because everything's expensive. I have no idea, right? Like, did I feel it? Probably, but then again, it was muddled with everything else, right? So, I mean, hard to tell. And look, you got to carry the water for the team that you're on. I get that, right? And here's all the reasons that they work, and they're punitive and all this stuff. Again, I think that we're dealing in a manner where the prevailing thought is that we are still such a dominant superpower that we can pretty much do whatever we want and everybody will conform. What I keep telling people is, yes, the United States is still the most powerful force in the world. It's the most powerful economy, everything like that. But the Don is slipping, as they would say, right? And other countries aren't just going to sit there and be third world Bush League. Like, you have other first world countries around the world, whether they are constitutional or democratic or totalitarian, the fact remains that they still exist, okay? And you have this mass, let's say mass affluence, but you have a lot of people moving up from subsistence level to middle class level. So you have burgeoning economies, and these people, many of them are American educated. So what do? They go back home. We have friends in Ghana that run the largest media group there. They're all American educated. They run it like a US business. So these people aren't dumb, right? And they know what the game is, and they figured out ways to work around it, which is why you see the proliferation of BRICS. And I wonder sometimes, is it that enough people will believe this on its face and be okay with it? Or do they really think that people are so dumb that they don't understand that some of this stuff isn't working. Like, I'm not sure exactly which one it is yet.